Viewer discretion is advised. Someone asked me about my thoughts on Lee Merritt. And I said Lee Merritt is like a Al Sharpton Y2K. Lee Merritt will get the families paid, but there will be no justice for the family. And it's a shame that with this case and the importance of this case and the ruling of this case, whatever it might be, that it has been stopped because a greedy aunt. And I feel as if Lee Merritt should have told that aunt, hey man, to respect the father's wishes. And she has no respect for the father's wishes. They try to push because they want that GoFundMe funds. In her interview, she never talks about Atatiana. Never say, oh, she was a great niece, or I helped her with this or that, or she helped me with this or that. All you are concerned about is the GoFundMe account. And the father is going to put a stop to that. And I'm glad. Because I'm tired of when there's death in the family. If you've ever experienced death in your family, I'm quite sure that you know that death brings out the loonies and the greedy people in the family. And that aunt is a greedy person because all she sees is the GoFundMe account. And when I heard that lady first speak, I said, you know what, she has a personal vendetta against Atatiana's father. The mother is not capable of speaking for herself at this particular point in time. So the aunt is going to take it upon herself to run things. And that's what I'm saying. We always got somebody in the family that wants to run things. Things that they have never been allowed to run.
Sister wants to speak on her behalf.
Lee Merritt knows what this lady is going to talk about. But he wants her to put it out there that Mr. Marquise Jefferson is not the father. Because when it comes to that GoFundMe account, I think it's up to $250,000. Lee Merritt wants his part of that GoFundMe account. And the aunt wants her part in that GoFundMe account. How much does a funeral cost? Just say $25,000. That leaves $225,000 left for the aunt and Lee Merritt to bust down.
Hello everyone. My name is Benita Body. I am Atatiana's aunt and Yolanda Carr's, Tay's mother, oldest sister. I'm speaking on her behalf today because she could not be here. As you have heard, her health is declining. And I've heard of the allegations of Mr. Marquise Jefferson, is what I want to address, claiming to be her biological father.
She isn't there to talk about this terrible tragedy that has happened to her niece, or about how she witnessed things like this in her past happening to black people and it needs to stop. She wants to address Marquise Jefferson so he cannot stop her from getting that GoFundMe account.
Which he is not, nor has he ever had legal custody of her.
How do you know that Mr. Jefferson is not the father? The child has his last name. Were you in the bedroom at that time? How do you know? Or is it just something that you just trying to put out there from the instructions of Lee Merritt?
We have not as a family heard from Mr. Jefferson.
You are saying we. But you're upset that he will not communicate with you. And why should he have to communicate with you? That is the child's father, which overrules you. You just an aunt. See, a lot of people always do that type of shit. Want to try to run somebody else's child, some aunt or some damn uncle or cousin. They're going to try to overrule their biological parent. I'm glad that this plan is not working.
And if he cares to reach out to us, we would be more than happy to address his concerns. And I want you to know that the GoFundMe page.
There it is. The GoFundMe page. Old baggy-eyed Bobby wants to get her hands on that money so she can get some Botox treatment to take care of those baggy-ass eyes.
That is family approved to Tay's legal family. And I thank everyone for their outreach, for their giving.
You can tell a lot about a person if you just listen. Most of her conversation is about the money and about Mr. Jefferson. I'm wondering, is this lady single herself? Because she says she's the oldest sister. The old hag is probably jealous that she never could get a man. Did she have children? Thank you for giving. I mean, what was given that you are so thankful for? That money should be used for the funeral or for the prevention of another young lady being killed by a cop in that manner. The money needs to be put to use and not squandering off going to the goddamn casino.
And for the love that they have shown us today.
All right. Thank you so much. And we have asked you all not to direct questions.
You know, after my experiences with funerals and with people like this aunt, I think that people should get a restraining order on certain people to stay away from the funeral because they are there to do nothing but create havoc. We've strayed away from the point that this lady was murdered in her home, shot through the window by a racist cop. And now we're arguing what they are arguing about the GoFundMe funds, when the funeral is going to be, who's going to be over the funeral, who's going to pay for it, who's running things. And it's a travesty. We don't know how to stay on point as a people. We are too damn easily distracted from the real issues and get sidetracked with bullshit every time with money. Money, money, money. The average person, you ask them about what would they do with the money, they don't have a clue. Money is a tool. Money is not to be spent up and go and try to ball with. You're supposed to make more money with money. But, hey man, you dealing with damn fools and you gotta expect this type of shit.
I am Bruce Carter, the director of Value of a Life and also the spokesperson for the Jefferson family. We're here tonight. We never wanted to be here, but for the last 7 days since the death of Atatiana Jefferson, her father, Mr. Jefferson, has done everything he could to participate in the homegoing of his daughter. Unfortunately, this all went south when a GoFundMe page was discovered. And Mr. Jefferson sent out an email asking Lee Merritt, the attorney, to please not raise funds for my daughter.
What? Get the money back? I mean, you know good and well Lee Merritt is not going to do that. Why the hell you think he's there? To get paid.
Because I have that covered. Instead of honoring the wish of a father, they went to the attack against Mr. Jefferson and blatantly disregarded who he was, that he didn't exist.
That is when the greedy aunt came through with that statement. She couldn't even talk about her daughter, worrying about the GoFundMe account. and trying to say that Mr. Jefferson is not the biological father when the girl got his last name. The mother is a Carr, not a Jefferson. Man, some people.
Let me explain who Mr. Jefferson is. He's a 19-year employee at El Centro where he works in the computer lab. He volunteers his time every Tuesday and Thursday at the Highland Hills Recreation Center teaching kids math. He also goes out and takes care of the homeless by providing cots. He believes that he was put on this earth to be a servant. Now, let me tell you about his relationship with his daughter. Being her primary caregiver at the age of 3 months to 1 year old, not understanding what it meant to be a dad, but he figured it out. He gained the support of his brother and his wife as they progressed through life. When she was diagnosed with diabetes in her teenage years, he took the medicine to the school. He took the dietary food. When she got ready to go to college, he has a home in New Orleans. She went to Xavier, New Orleans. When it was time to go to college, she let her dad know and her stepmom know, y'all need to have me in New Orleans in 3 days, and they did that. During her tenure in New Orleans, her and her stepmother, Miss Jefferson, remained very close. And even as of June, when they had a problem, she was with her dad so they could rectify the problem. So we're here for many points, but the most important is to announce that her homegoing, her celebration as it should be, will not take place tomorrow. It has been moved until Thursday at Friendship West. That will take place at noon on Thursday. There will be a wake at Golden Gate Funeral Home where the public is invited to come out and view the body from 8:30 to 9:30. What we will do to honor Atatiana is we will allow her name to live on through a foundation called the Atatiana Jefferson Foundation, whose mission is to help young black people become doctors, to address homelessness, and to reduce stress in poverty-stricken communities. That foundation is in place. Mr. Jefferson has pledged to continue his work in his daughter's name. He only had one daughter. Now, what we're going to do so families are not broken up and discarded in the time of hurt. I had the privilege of meeting Atatiana's brother and sister. It's devastating not to have a funeral tomorrow. Devastating. It's not their fault. But I also have heard from the elitist in Dallas that believes they can call a judge tonight and it'll be overturned. If that corruption is to take place, I would ask that the FBI investigate that judge immediately. But it has been said, I know people, I will call people. He had to go to court to get a restraining order in order to do what parents do. Now, Dallas should not be able to disrupt the courts. Another thing we would love to see is the Jefferson law that does not allow death chasers, attorneys, to engage with families before a loved one is dead. That is part of the problem in this case. Money has been flashed and promised, and it has allowed people to not make great decisions. These are the things we cannot do because death is final. And in this case, I applaud Mr. Jefferson from fighting ever since Sunday morning, begging and pleading up until yesterday at 6 o'clock. We could not get his name put on the obituary. We could not have a place for him and his family to come. Basically, they said it doesn't matter. We don't need him. Thank God for the courts. Thank God for his persistence. And I want to say thank God for the people that have prayed, for these clergy that met at the first press conference, for the news media that came out to tell his story on a consistent basis. It's too difficult to take away, especially when a black man does the right thing. He took a policy out 20 years ago and paid that policy about the same policy. So, as we're all sad to be here tonight, it was of necessity. And he will continue to fight for the name of his daughter, as he said, as long as he has breath in him. Once again, the funeral will take place on Thursday at Friendship West at noon, and the wake will be on next Wednesday at Golden Gate from 8:30 to 9:30. What I would ask that you do from the public is you keep the Jeffersons and the Carrs and the family of Atatiana Jefferson in your prayers. You find words to comfort them, because tonight no one wins. No one wins. But as a community of people, we must do everything we can to avoid tragedy. With that, I want to say once again, thank you all, and thank the pastors, and thank you for your patience. And we will take questions at this time.
What happened tonight over at the Waters house?
I couldn't tell you because I'm in Faith Temple. I know what the restraining order says. I know that Golden Gate Funeral Home honored the restraining order that prevented them from moving the remains. So the remains is still at Golden Gate. The remains will be at Golden Gate until the funeral takes place next week. I have heard that they will have a memorial regardless. And unfortunately, here's what I realize. This became a puppeteering effort to celebrate different platforms. Atatiana got lost in the place. Speakers want to speak about what? You want to do services for what? This should be about a young lady who was fighting to do something great, and that was to become a doctor. So we will have a service that honors her. We will invite individuals from all faiths, all races, to come in and do what we can beyond the funeral. What's next? We cannot continually raise sand when someone dies and we do nothing in between the deaths. So that's what he wants to take place. And with these pastors and with the Seventh-day Adventists and other, the nation has reached out and said they would love to be a part. The United Methodist Church has said they would love to be a part. And I believe that that's what this death should be about. How we come together to make our community safer so they don't have to have the negative commentary.
Mr. Jefferson, given the complications we're hearing about tonight, one thing that seems consistent is that both sides want folks to remember Tatiana's life and her legacy. You want folks to remember about her daughter.
Mostly how she was a giving person, and that she's just a loving person, that she loves. There was love, and that smile, Lord have mercy, can brighten up any room. That she was, her life was cut short. And as a little girl, I always told her she could be anything she wants to be. Not just her, you, me, your children. I stress that every day, no matter where I am. Don't act like that. Prince, don't act like that. You are royalty. You are here for a purpose. Don't act like that. Don't lower yourself. You have to aspire to be the best you can be. See that one of
Princess, a nickname you have for her?
No, I was saying she was a prince. Princess. No, this guy was cursing, and I was telling him he's a prince. He was going to be king.
I don't imagine that wants to see themselves in a situation like this tonight. How is our Princess
It's been very tough, but Tay wanted me to be strong. I have to be strong. My mission is not over.
So what's this all about? Flash run around guessing about what?
For who?
When you ask the question, what are you referring to?
You mentioned that money has been flashed around
is this. We have a GoFundMe that started off at $10,000 to pay for funeral arrangements. He stated at that time, I have this covered. That GoFundMe went from 10,000 to 50,000 to 75,000 to 100,000 to 150,000 to 200,000. And it was a little over 238,000. Now, that's outside of the GoFundMe. I'm going to get there. The GoFundMe. So when you raise money for a specific purpose, and that money is not needed, I believe that you're defrauding the people who are weakened at heart that wants to do something. So the very moment that the email was sent to Lee Merritt that said, stop it, she doesn't need it, it should have been stopped. But it wasn't. And so the problem is you create money and family is now looking at money instead of purpose. Yes, I do want to thank these athletes that have already wrote checks directly to the funeral. The funeral is paid for. So his policy will go into the foundation to serve the people. So having already paid is Harrison Barnes and Malik Jackson. So the funeral is paid for. It will go on. But his work that he's had to do since he received a call from the mother called him and said, our daughter's been shot. Then went on to say killed. So his relationship with the mother has always been great, remains great, and the mother has been very adamant that she had nothing to do with everything that has come against him. So when you have parents that are working for the purpose, we cannot let money, greed, or anything else disrupt that. That's why we're here. As I said, we've begged the entire week to just honor the simple things he asked for. And that just didn't happen, which led us to having to retain an attorney and to go to court and believe and hope that justice would win out with all the work that he had done over the course of her life, and it did. And we thank the judge for standing up, knowing that there would be scrutiny in this case. But the judge was thorough and made sure that all the documents were in place.
Mr. Jefferson, do you have any other messages for those individuals who try to block you out of this process at such a sensitive time?
No, I don't have anything against them. That's my daughter's relatives. No.
Just for some clarity, and I know this is a difficult subject, but there were some family members held a news conference Monday. I know one of them made some comments saying that Mr. Jefferson is not the biological father and has never had legal custody. Obviously, there's a birth certificate saying otherwise in this document. Just what is your relationship, your custody? You had custody of her entire childhood.
I'll answer that question for you. So, since day one, he's been our father. He's her father. You had one aunt that made that claim. The sister didn't make that claim. The brothers didn't make that claim. It was a disgruntled aunt that he's never had a relationship with, that he's had to take action to. This same aunt, since we're being transparent, falsely filed Atatiana her income tax return. The mother made her legally pay that money back. There was many other altercations with this aunt. So he understands that aunt, and that's what she's done for a very long time. But as I said, Miss Carr never had a problem. Neither sibling has never come out against him. And that's why I said what they are going through now is probably one of the worst things outside what he's going through.
What does it mean tomorrow when they're still planning a funeral without a body?
I believe this. I believe that there's enough people who are looking for you all to show up so they can lift their platforms. They may roll in an empty coffin. Who knows? They'll sing songs, they'll dance around, they'll fall out, and they'll go back, and it'll be over with. So when you ask me about the things you see people do for you to show up, they'll continually do it as long as you show up. The body won't be there. Like I said, unless what I've heard, there's a judge who has corruption that will come in on a Saturday and overturn what another judge has done very thoroughly. But we will wait and see. but we are prepared for Thursday. The Carr family is invited. They're more than welcome. There's room for them. They'll be respected, and they'll be treated with dignity, and that's what should happen.
And Bruce, just to clear up, you said that it's going to be a voting date from 8:30 to 9:30. Is that going to be 8 p.m. that Thursday or Wednesday night?
Wednesday night, 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Okay. Is there any other questions? All right. We thank you all for your time. And once again, if there's anything that changes, we will definitely update the public and thank the public for caring enough to do the things you've done.
This little sideshow should not have any bearings on the case. If anything, it shows that people are hurting. Because when people are hurting, they want to see someone else hurt too. That's why people say hurtful things to people while they're hurting. Because they want you to hurt too. They want you to feel their pain. So, I can understand, but this should not be happening. Regardless if Mr. Jefferson is the father or not, which I don't understand why a girl has a name if that's not her daughter and her father. But even if he's not the father, he sure is showing a lot of concerns for Atatiana. He's the only, besides the brothers and sisters, he's the only one that is really speaking with some type of intelligence. The aunt is trying to appear to be intelligent, but she's really showing ignorance, bitterness, and hatred. When a loved one has passed away, as long as they're on top of ground, the family cannot heal. It is not until after the body is buried that a person can heal, find some type of closure. And they need to hurry up and go and get this done so that the family can heal and get back to the business at hand, which is preventing another Atatiana Jefferson from being killed by the hands of a white, cowardly police officer. You know, I heard that T.D. Jakes attended this funeral. But you never hear from these people like T.D. Jakes on local issues like this, because this happens all the time. This just happened to get publicized. But especially in Fort Worth, things like this happens all the time. Where the hell is T.D. Jakes then? Where the hell is the Lee Merritts and the Al Sharptons? What, the case is too small? It doesn't have enough recognition and popularity? So when I see people like Lee Merritt, T.D. Jakes, Ben Crump, all these people like him, when they come in on the scene, man, they see money. They're going to get you paid. But unless you spell justice, M-O-N-E-Y, at the end, you are going to feel played.